There's one thing people keep talking about. People keep saying that phones with removable batteries don't, they no longer exist. Well, that is where they are wrong. They still do exist. It's just that there are very few of them now. Yeah, there's some manufacturers still produce phones with removable batteries. Manufacturers like itel, fairphone, um etc. They aren't many. The list isn't long, but the truth is that they still exist. And making batteries non-removable, it doesn't really increase the capacity of the battery. The truth is that in the past, before non-removable batteries became popular, there were already phones with large capacity of removable batteries. Like take for example itel. I used to have an itel phone with a removable battery that had 5000 milliamp battery in it, and that phone used to last me like 2 days before I charge it again. Except if I use the phone to play games, music, and all that, then that is when I end up charging it maybe in the evening. So the thing is that some phones in the past had high capacity battery even when they were not removable. But those phones that had high capacity batteries, they were all budget or cheap phones. So and budget phones they don't have plenty, so they don't have plenty of components inside them. They just have a few, like maybe proximity sensor, light sensor, camera, speaker, you know, nothing much inside. So back then there was a lot of space to put big batteries, and the phones then back then they were not large in size. So what I'm trying to say is that it is still possible to make phones with large batteries without sacrificing the capacity and quality of the phone. So all those things manufacturers say about the capacity of the battery, they are lies. It's not true. Although the only thing that um building phones with inbuilt battery does is that maybe it increases the waterproofing, but people still prefer to have removable batteries. Yeah, I would actually love to have a phone with removable battery if they weren't so rare now. But phones with removable batteries they are very cheap, and the processors in them are not very powerful. The only way you can get a phone with removable battery that has a powerful processor is if you buy a Chinese phone, Chinese branded phones that aren't very popular. Some of those new brands that just come out, they come with removable batteries, and the battery capacities are not very high. It's like they make small batteries on purpose, because phones now, those phones, they are they are a lot bigger than those phones of those days that had large battery. Take for example now this Infinix phone that I'm using to record this video. It can come with a large battery that's removable, but they chose to just build something that's inbuilt because inbuilt batteries have become very popular. And once these things become popular, people join a lot more manufacturers will start to copy them. And it was Apple who started this making phones with non-removable batteries. So that's just my own opinion. It's still doable. And in 2025, if the EU succeeds in making manufacturers to make removable batteries in their phones, it will really benefit a lot of people because you'll be able to buy extra battery for your phone, those just in case your battery runs out. So instead of just charging your phone with a power bank all the time, you just remove your battery that and reset a a better one. Then you can use a desktop charger to just charge your battery. I really did love phones with removable batteries, and that is one thing advantage of having KaiOS phone. Supposing KaiOS had a much better hardware, a lot of people actually love to switch to KaiOS because of the operating system plus removable battery. See, and that is what Android used to be about before. In the past, Android phones did not need plenty of RAM. The OS was still okay, but things changed over time because of high demand of high-end games that need more RAM to run and with more powerful processors. And then that is when Android Go came. But these Android Go phones, they are not really they are not fully optimized like to take full advantage of all those low powered processors that you get what I mean. So what I'm trying to say is that Android phones they still need more work. They still need more tweaking. If they are not able to tweak it, at least if they can make all those more powerful processors cheaper for manufacturers to use on their phones, it will really help a lot. Like this Infinix phone I have now, supposing it had a more powerful processor, it will be more enjoyable than it currently is. Although it is enjoyable, the processing is still okay, but if it had slightly more power, it would be a lot better than it currently is because Android phones are heavily dependent on RAM and processor speed. So if this phone has maybe like the G85 or the Dimensity or something higher or G99, the processing speed will be a lot faster compared to what it currently uses like the A22. Although the G25 won't really do much, it won't really help that much. The G35 won't really help that much. The difference between G25 and G35 isn't even much. And the difference between A22 and G35 and you know, G25, they aren't really much either. The performance difference is just a little, like just small difference in performance. That's just the thing. All these budget processors, they are getting older, and all those more expensive processors, they should be cheaper by now. So that is what should happen. Having a more powerful processor will actually boost performance of phones.